Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This week is a week of reviews, and we are going to be reviewing the Shane Dawson times Jeffree Star Conspiracy palette. Honestly, when I first saw this, I wasn't super crazy excited. I was so excited for Shane and Jeffree, but when I looked at the colors, I was like, what am I going to do with these? So I ordered this on Friday from the Morphe website. I got rush shipping, which was like $16, which was like 2 business days. And it's currently Wednesday, and I ordered it on Friday. So I think for as many orders as they had, it did come pretty quickly. This does retail for $52 on the Morphe site and on jeffreestarcosmetics.com. I did get the mini one. I just ordered them the same day, just 2 separate times. So I am going to do a separate review of that one, but I thought we would dedicate a full video to this conspiracy palette. So we're going to be reviewing it today. I am going to put the swatches up like I did for the Tati video. So we're first going to swatch the first row, and the first color is going to be Ranch. The second one is My Pills. The third one is Tanacon. The fourth one is Diet Root Beer. The fifth one is Just a Theory. And the sixth one is Spiraling. Next, we're going to move on to the middle row. The first shade is Conspiracy. The next shade is Pigment. The next shade is Food Videos. The fourth shade is Trisha. The fifth shade is Cheese Dust. And the sixth shade is Flaming Hot. The last and final row, the first one is What's the Tea? The second one is Diet Cola. The third one is Not a Fact. The fourth one is Sleep Paralysis. The fifth one is Illuminati. And the last one is My Ride's Here. So cool thing, I just realized that the actual imprints in the shadows represent the color name. Most of them do. Isn't that kind of funny? I didn't watch any other reviews because I wanted this to be as authentic as I could, give it to you guys. I didn't want anyone else's thoughts kind of filtering through my head. So we are just going to try this palette. We are going to see how well it works on our eyes and see if we can kind of come up with a fun, colorful look. So first we're going to start with the Pigment shade, and I'm going to be using that on a Sigma E40 brush. This palette does come with a very big mirror in here, so we are going to just use the palette mirror and see how well that works. And I'm just going to tap off some of the excess. I know that Jeffree's eyeshadows are very pigmented, so let's see how the combination of Shane and Jeffree is working. So I am just going to apply this in my crease with a light hand. I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise. My dog is going crazy out there, but I gotta film this video. So I'm gonna take this all the way from inner to outer corner. Just windshield wiper motions in the crease. And once I have nothing left on the brush, I am just gonna kind of dust right on the edges just to buff this out so there's no harsh line. So then I'm going to take the brush and I'm just going to press some right on this outer corner just to make it blend in a little bit better. I mean, that's a pretty pigmented color, so the name Pigment fits it very well. Moving on to the next shade, we're going to take Cheese Dust, which is the orange shade in the palette, and I'm going to be using this on a Sigma E35 brush. Same thing that we did before, we're going to just dust off the excess. What we're going to do is I'm actually just going to set this first in this outer corner because that's where I want most of the pigment to be. And then I'm going to slowly work it up into the crease, just patting it in. And then once I have nothing really left on the brush, I am just going to start doing the exact same thing we did with the pink shade and just going windshield wiper motions back and forth in the crease. And then what I'm going to do is just take my brush to the side and just start to buff the line between the pink and the orange. And because I feel like we lost a little bit of the Pigment shade, I'm just going to take a little bit more and run it right at the top of where we applied that Cheese Dust shade. This look, though, it's a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm digging it. The next shade we're going to take is the shade Flaming Hot, which is the red shade in the palette. And I'm going to be using a Morphe M433 brush. This is just a smaller, dense brush, so we can be a little bit more precise on where we're packing this color, because that is a pigmented ass red. I'm just going to touch it right in this outer corner just to get some pigment down on the eye. And I don't really want to take this all the way through the eye. I want to focus this more right on this outer corner right here and right in this crease, like right in the socket of my eye, just to give us some definition. These shades are some pretty pigmented ass shades. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that this red shade is going to stain my eye. I'm not 100% sure, but I've worked with red shades like this before that are just really pigmented, and they just happen to like not want to come off my eye at the end of the night. Honestly, guys, I'm trying to use as many shades that I can in the palette just to see how they work together, just like I did in my Tati review. And we're just going to take Not a Fact, which is a deeper plum shade, and I'm going to be using it on a pencil brush from Sigma, and we're going to apply this right in our outer corner, starting at our actual lash line and just working upwards. I am going to take this Morphe brush again and just go right at the actual edges just to blend that out slightly. It just kind of took away a bunch of the product, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm struggling to get this shadow to blend. Like, I feel like I'm having some trouble. I've honestly sat here for the last, 5 to 10 minutes just really trying to like build this color up on my outside of my eye. And as you guys see, like once I place it down, it looks so pigmented and so nice. But if I just go to take like even a clean brush and blend out the edges, I guess personally it just doesn't like blend as good as I want it to. And I'm like anal. I'm so anal about blending. We're going to keep going and see how the final look goes. Okay, so with a little bit more time and effort, I did get it to look a little bit better than what I was working with, but I'm still not 100% satisfied, so I am going to deepen it up just a little bit more with the My Rides here. That is the black eyeshadow in the palette. I'm going to go in only with a touch of this. I just want to deepen up this outer corner a little bit, and I'm going to dust off the excess, and I'm just going to start really at the lash line. Only in this outer corner do I want there to be any of the black. So I'm going to take this brush and a little bit more of that purple shade just to blend these two together a little. Maybe I judged the palette a little bit more prematurely than I would have liked. I mean, this eyeshadow look looks pretty good so far, but I am going to apply a lid shade, and we're going to be using the Trisha shade in the palette, which is this bright pink. I am going to spray my brush with a little bit of Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. We're going to be taking this on a Sigma Cream Color E58, and I'm going to apply this right on the lid. This color definitely fits Trisha. So I'm going to kind of cut the crease just a little bit with this. We're going to take it just into this outer corner. And once it's out there, I am going to take our pencil brush and just start to blend that in with our outer corner. And because there's one more color that is speaking to me in the palette, Food Vibes, which is this bright neon, I would say lime green maybe, and I'm going to take it on a Morphe E18, and I'm going to be using this as my inner corner highlight. So I am just going to pop this right in here just for a pop of color. I mean, we do have some purple, orange, and red, but I thought, you know what, why not apply this matte lime yellow in the inner corner. This one is super pigmented, like holy moly. So as for fallout, I mean, we definitely have more than I was hoping for. These are a little bit more on the pigmented side, so I mean, it's something I kind of expected. I just hope that it doesn't ruin my foundation at all, just because some of these bright colors with their fallout, if you try to just dust them away, even if you set the rest of your face with powder, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it ruins it, but we got lucky in this instance and we are not having that issue. So we're going to go in with the black shade and run it right along this outer portion of my eye. I'm not going to take it all the way in. We're going to go about halfway and really focus this on the outer corner, just kind of pulling it back and up, and taking that Not a Fact purple shade and running it right underneath, bringing that just a little bit more to our inner corner. I'm not going to be touching the black that much because we're going to add 1 or 2 more shades to kind of buff this under eye out. And then for the last shade, we're going to go in with the Cheese Dust shade and just run this right along the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my lashes off camera, and then I will come back and let you guys know my final thoughts on the Jeffree and Shane palette. So the final look honestly does not look bad at all. I mean, this yellow lime green on the inner corner of my eyes honestly is so bright and so pigmented. I have a couple of issues with some of the bright matte shadows in the palette. Honestly, this one is extremely pigmented, but when looking at it up close, it is very like chalky and drying almost. And I can see it kind of like, I guess, flaking a little bit. Like it's just, it looks really chalky and it looks really dry. As for my eyeshadow, I used as many colors as I possibly could. The only thing I don't like is I'm not seeing huge definition between the colors. And I mean, I used an orange, I used the pink, I used the red, and I used the Trisha shade and the purple and the black. And I mean, honestly, it looks really pretty together. I'm not seeing a huge difference. I'm not seeing where the orange was. I'm not seeing where it just all kind of meshed together and just became like a blob of color, which overall looks totally fine. I think the shadows do perform. Do I think that these are the best eyeshadows I've ever used? No. Do I think they are the worst shadows I've ever used? No, they're not. They do perform and they do what they are supposed to do. So they're about middle of the road. And do I think the palette is worth $52? Honestly, all eyeshadows are a little bit more expensive, and the packaging is really killer for this. I really like the packaging. I like that it's kind of like a lockbox. I know Jeffree Star's like Blue Blood palette was like that. I think maybe all of them besides the Jawbreaker palette have been like that. But I just think the packaging outdoes itself. It is really nice. You do get a lot of different colors in here, which I think is really good. Like I said in the beginning, I just think it was like a bunch of different colors kind of flopped into a palette. And I know that Shane is not a beauty guru. I understand that. I just think that, I mean, we need a little bit more cohesiveness here. Like, I just don't think that you really get a lot out of this palette when you're looking at it in terms of looks. I mean, you do have some browns, so we could do a basic look. You do have some colors to do a colorful look, but I just think this shade right here, I don't really know what I would do with it. I don't really know what colors I would pair it with. I just think it's kind of the odd man out, and I'm not really sure. Just like I said, some of these shades I just feel like are a little bit like misfits. They don't really fit in anywhere with the color story. Other than that, overall, I do like the palette. I am very happy for Shane, honestly. I've been watching Shane for a very long time, and I love his conspiracy videos that he used to do, and I do sometimes watch them a little bit. The palette, I think, is worth the money. Coming from a beauty guru or a beauty influencer standpoint, I just saw some holes in the actual like overall planning and the setup of the palette. But overall, like I said, it does perform, and you do get what you pay for. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which will be down below, and don't forget to check out my last video. That'll be linked right here. Stay on the channel, have a couple laughs, learn a couple of makeup techniques, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.